What's up, guys? Our Wrestling Podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious, along with Justice Roll Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic, whatever happened to Muhammad Hassan? For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. And you can also just look to your left, as Jess will tell you, for several other video options. And please give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019. That would really help us out. So another
it's even easier than us telling you about it. You just use your dumb fucking eyes and look to the left or right. You know, we might switch it up on you. Oh no, I know that's going to throw you in peril. Switch it up. Don't switch
look on the screen and figure it out.
Why do YouTube people have to like say it anymore? Like, if you like, click the bell or whatever. Do like, you know what to fucking do. Like, if you like it, fucking subscribe. If you don't,
if you can click a fish doorbell and let the fish through, you can do this.
If you can pick your nose, which I know a lot of you can effectively, you could fucking click the bell and do the things, and you don't need us to fucking remind you all the time, idiots.
So hey, another installment, huh?
Yeah, we're still riding off the wave of the Dark Side of the Ring season 6. Ludwig Borga did really well for us. By the time you guys watch this, we'll already have released Superstar Billy Graham, Legacy of, and now we're doing Muhammad Hassan. This is a weird, like, if you blinked, you missed this. And we were watching, right. This is kind of during the Ruthless Aggression era. And so a lot of people may not remember this, but this was very, very controversial at the time. And Dave will read on here. And
you can check it out in our archives too, Jess. We did a failed gimmicks on this one too.
He didn't have like he wasn't like a wrestling fan or had like, amateur wrestling or anything like that. This guy, Dave's gonna read or whatever. He got cast in a role. He went into the developmental territory and just got kind of chosen. Hey, it's a hot spot right now. This was a few years after 9/11. And so Vince wanted to kind of capitalize on, as he does. Vince likes to capitalize on, the Nikolai Volkovs and the Iron Sheik and all that stuff. He's not Vince, and even Sergeant Slaughter in 91.
Yeah, the Iraqi War, yeah.
Vince always loves that. He loves to get controversial and focus on some kind of foreign thing that we don't like as Americans. So like that's
100%. I mean, that's been wrestling for the entire thing. Is they've always had the Russians or whoever, Germans,
super
or whoever
stereotypical, right?
Bad guy, right? So
wrestling's full of stereotypes.
100%, and that's where we jump in. So this is Mark Julian Capani was born in Syracuse, New York, to a family of Italian descent.
He's Italian. That's amazing.
Yeah, he is Italian. He graduated from Cicero North Syracuse High School in 1998. He enrolled in the State University of New York in Buffalo, studying for a degree in history. But in 2002, he left university to pursue a career in professional wrestling.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, hate to say it.
I even put the notes. I'm like, you know what? I just realized I didn't say why. Why? Like, it's really weird. Like,
well, a degree in history. Then you start seeing what history teachers make. And I was going to be an English teacher. That didn't work out. I mean, they don't pay us enough, quite frankly. So teachers deserve more money, but we'll get on that tangent another time. That's for another podcast. Capani joined in Louisville, Kentucky-based promotion Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW, in 2002. He debuted in the same year under the ring name Mark Magnus. That's actually Magnus. That's always a good name. Yeah, it's a good one. In 2004, the promotion of WWE approached OVW seeking a wrestler to portray an Arab American character. Capani was offered the opportunity by the OVW booker Jim Cornette.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Double cheese, double onion.
Vince, you want a what? An Arab?
You want a what?
Muslim.
Mark, you want to go be you want to be an Arabic wrestler? What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. Jim Cornette.
Capani made that WWE television debut as a heel on Raw, and that's where the Muhammad Hassan persona took place, December 13, 2004 to be exact, and an in-ring segment with Mick Foley.
Muhammad Hassan. I have had enough. I've had to listen to these lies, and now you're gonna listen to me, like it or not. I used to be just like you, Mick Foley, and just like all of these people. I used to blindly support these troops, and I used to blindly support this country.
After wrestling dark matches and house shows for about 2 months, his introductory video and gimmick featured him and his manager, Iranian-American Khosrow Delvari. I think I got that right. Introducing themselves there. He described himself as a wrestler of Jordanian and Palestinian descent, wanting relief from the increased prejudice and stereotypes created by the 9/11 attacks. Hassan's gimmick also involved him interrupting promos by other wrestlers with his theme music and approaching the ring to cut promos of his own, typically complaining about being held back due to the anti-Arab prejudice that he was experiencing. Making his entrance in WWE, he berated the way the media have characterized Arab Americans after September 11th. As an example, he focused his anger on Raw announcers Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross.
Yeah,
which is really easy to do.
You have a problem with like society in America, but the next best thing is like Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, you sons of bitches. You're gonna pay.
Who else would you take it out on?
It's really like a massive step down.
Especially Ross at that point being so beloved.
In this country's you know who's the worst? Fucking Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. Like they're the worst. I'm gonna get them. So
those two faced the two ring announcers in an in-ring debate on January 3rd. That's a 2005 episode of Raw. He then defeated Lawler in a debut match at the New Year's Revolution pay-per-view.
Already,
so he's beating up an old man. Not even, on January 9th.
Like why? Like Vince is like, then I'm gonna bring you in and we're gonna shock everyone and you're gonna feud with Jim Ross and Jerry 65-year-old Lawler. It's like, oh, that's okay. Sure, sign me up. That'll get me over fucking fast.
And you sit here and you preach your prejudice, propaganda from a media perch to an audience of millions.
I don't know about an audience of millions, but I know I, for one, have heard just about enough from you two. And if you don't back off, I'm going to propaganda your face with my fist. Do you understand that?
Hey. Come on.
Ridiculous. In the course of his undefeated streak, Hassan defeated wrestlers such as Hurricane, Sergeant Slaughter, Chris Benoit, and Chris Jericho.
Chris Smith. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris Smith. But the Jericho, those two theaters are big ones, So they're trying to pump him up, trying to give him the rub, as we say.
Hassan's gonna pin me physically. Yeah, he's gonna pin you.
What?
Mentally.
Hassan had attracted much heat as a villain. In fact, when he was evident at the Royal Rumble on January 30th, in that match, the actual Royal Rumble match, he entered at number 13. Everyone who was in the ring at the time, it was Booker T, Chris Smith, as we talked about, the Jericho-itis, Edgy Poo, Eddie Guerrero, Luther Reigns, Rey Mysterio, Shelton Benjamin.
Who's Luther?
They immediately ganged up on him and eliminated him right away. So, I'm sure the crowd popped for that one.
Get him out of here.
All this while, he's being a shitty heel and he's interrupting promos and he's bitching about how he's being discriminated against. So
I like that
people are going to boo that.
The motivation was like kind of legit. It was the temperature of America at the time, right? Like after 9/11, like if you were of Arabic descent, like you got a side look sometimes. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying it's what happened. So Vince, of course, is like, and then you're gonna question that, which is a legit question. And can we stop this in America? Can we please? Like, not all people of Arabic descent are what you think we are. But Vince is like, nope, you're going to be a heel and make it worse. Like, and I know that's pro wrestling, but like, I mean, you kind of, if you want to be revolutionary, what if he was a face? And he was like, I want to show you guys like that I'm not like, not all Arabics are bad. And we all, it's like, but instead Vince is like, no, you're going to be a dirty heel. You're going to be a fucking filthy.
Well, I mean, Craig, to bring you in on this one, like, think about it. That really was the climate, though, when you think about it, and all you're going to end up being is on the defensive, right? And if you're in
and
that,
he's going to make a heel and make it worse. So, like, all the wrestling audience is going to go, but they are kind of secretly dirty because he's a heel. Like, it's like, no, like, he doesn't represent all Arab Americans. Like, it's just Vince.
I think the idea of it's great. If, like, from the point of view of like of Muhammad Hassan, who's like, why are you treating me like this? I'd be like pissed off too. And you know what? And props for knowing the temperature and like, oh, it doesn't matter, like his own feelings. Like you You did 9/11, so we're
Yeah.
gonna lump you all into a group, and you're gonna continue to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I think
Right.
David, you read on like it went like it escalated pretty quickly. It
Yeah.
It
started
gets pretty wrong. This is another example. God, every time I see this name come up, I go, ooh, you shouldn't have done this. And you did it for a long time. At WrestleMania 21 on April 3rd, Hassan and Daivari were featured in a segment with Hulk Hogan that saw Hogan coming to the rescue of wrestler Eugene, who is being attacked by Hassan and Daivari.
Wait,
So
why are you mad?
just to
Explain-
shed some light on it for people that have forgotten, Eugene was a character
He was slow.
that was of slow mental capacity, and it was not cool.
And he couldn't
Eugene,
button his jacket right. He always had the buttons like off.
he'd bite his nails, and he would
Yeah.
constantly hit his own head and
His
jump
hair was
around, and
frizzy.
yeah, it was a poor taste.
But he
And
wrestled well.
he wrestled really well, and Eugene, the person who played Eugene, you can give me his name, Jess. I cannot
Eugene
recall.
Dinsmore?
Yes.
Just
Is that his real name?
Yeah.
Is it?
no,
Oh
it was
my God.
Dinsmore. I don't know if it's
It was Dinsmore. It was Dinsmore, and
Yeah.
it makes me think of the Dentimore beef stew. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's how I remember.
I
his
just
name.
one, he's a very intelligent person, and two, he to your point, Jess, he could really work. It's just a shame that
Eugene was over for a period of time.
He was.
he
He
was.
was not over. Like
It just doesn't
worked.
it doesn't work today at all. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to watch when you go back to it.
It worked today,
but yeah.
But and
Who
you
knows?
know, here my feelings have changed. But as a Hogan fan, a lifelong Hogan fan, this was the day after that he got inducted in the Hall of Fame, and in 2005, like I was just so happy that Hogan finally got put in his place in the Hall of Fame. And yeah, that's that segment when he came out the next night on WrestleMania 21 and he fended off Muhammad and all that stuff or whatever. One of my favorite Hulk moments, man. That crowd was fucking insane, like for him, and like just to see him go out there and like.
Well,
we
and to your
thought-
point, Eugene was such an over face as well. People really did gravitate towards
yeah,
him.
and you're going to
So-
see too. It
I just
led.
thought
Go ahead.
it was kind of messed up to then like have Eugene turn on Hogan, then Hogan kind of beat up Eugene and like drop him.
Like beat him bloody. Like Hogan just ground and pounded him.
Yeah.
No,
He said himself he wanted a WrestleMania moment and he was going to create one, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Michaels did.
That didn't happen.
Oh, sorry. The next night on Raw, Hassan did not happen. Hassan and Daivari came out to confront and assault face Shawn Michaels. They just can't get enough. The following week on Raw, Michaels approached Raw general manager Eric Bischoff, demanding a handicap match with Hassan and Daivari.
Partner, Eric.
Bischoff refused, and he refused and yelled at Dave Meltzer at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he told Michaels to find a partner, and he would grant him a match there. Michaels did make a plea for Hogan to come back and team with him. On the April 18th episode of Raw, Hassan again led an attack on Michaels.
Let's go.
Until Hogan said, "Okay, brother, drink some of my beer," and he accepted the offer. At Backlash on May 1st, Hassan and Daivari lost to Hogan and Michaels, with Daivari being pinned. Hassan would blame and attack Daivari for the loss the next night on Raw. And on the June 13th episode of Raw, Stone Cold Steve Austin appeared as a special guest enforcer on the request of Eric Bischoff to listen to Hassan's complaints. After listening to those problems, Austin agreed with him and ordered a match between Hassan and Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental Championship that very night, stating that Hassan was screwed by the system. Why did he just give him a stunner and call it a day? We'll read on.
Also, too, like I know you're going to read on, but like, how about you just book him in a feud and then let us get to know the Hassan character and then keep progressing him or whatever. Instead, like everything that Dave's reading.
By the way, he's talented. We all know
yeah,
this.
it's this hot-shotting shit. And he is talented, but he wasn't seasoned yet. So you throw him in there with Hogan and Shawn, and then you have Austin come out and do, I'm going to do this. Like, instead of just booking the character like normal and letting him progress as a wrestler and letting us understand his character, whether we hated him or not is irrelevant. Like, Vince is just hot-shotting him. I'm going to put him in there with Shawn. I'm going to force him in there with this, and he's going to attack Eugene, and Hogan's going to come out. And it was like, it's too much too soon. Like, it's like Vince is telegraphing, like, I want this guy to be a really hated heel. And it's like, well, because you're telling me that, and you're forcing all these storylines.
It's a total repeat of Slaughter. He had his fingers in the pie like too much all the time.
But at least we knew who Slaughter was. We knew who Slaughter was before.
That's true.
Yeah, like
he had a history
on the political side, and I think he did have issues backstage. Imagine if you're the rest of the locker room with this new guy coming in just for like this crazy political like hot thing. Like,
and you're trying to, and he's getting all this TV time, and you're hot shotting him and all that. Like people are like, fuck
yeah, I think he
guy.
did get a hard time in Wrestlers Court. And they didn't really like him backstage. They probably didn't. Rightly so, he didn't earn the spot that he had.
Yeah,
got a lot of things going for me against him.
You should have given your first class.
Right.
It's time to go to Wrestlers Court. You should have given your first class. It's like it's always stupid shit like that.
Yeah. Getting back to the match of the evening,
you walked by JBL and didn't help him put his luggage up in the overhead compartment.
That's
you did not shake hands with.
Yeah. You owe us all a case of beer.
But let's celebrate the Undertaker for that hazing. That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Going back to the Shelton Benjamin match, Hassan was going to win that. It was on the way. Daivari was helping him get that heel victory, but Austin entered, delivered a stunner to both Hassan and Daivari, making him the winner by disqualification. But Shelton Benjamin was able to retain the title.
Yeah, stunner. You like that?
you like that? On the June 20th episode of Raw, Hassan and Daivari interrupted a promo by then WWE champion John Cena to complain about how Hassan was screwed out of the Intercontinental Championship. Bischoff took that opportunity to punish Cena by booking him up against Hassan in a championship match, in which Hassan's losing streak and title matches continued as Cena dominated him in a 2-minute squash, pinning him cleanly and ending the on-pin streak.
You're gonna get him over. You're gonna get him over good.
He's never been pinned. He's exactly. I can see Lawler. But he's never been pinned.
John Cena, my God, Cena, with a five knuckle tumble, the pump up, the FU. Are you kidding me? Could it be? Will it be? Yes, it is. The 5-win streak.
Here is your winner and still the WWE Champion, John Cena.
John Cena's ended Muhammad Hassan's undefeated streak on Raw. John Cena will be ready to fight this Sunday in Las Vegas in the triple threat match for the WWE title.
You hype this guy up, motherfucker, and then like you pin him. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like,
why'd you do that? Yeah, so stupid. On the June 23rd episode of SmackDown, it was revealed that
Midnight Express, like, oh, we did it right in my time. Shut up.
In my time, we had people coming out of a box.
Like the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express.
And it was fucking perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Coming out of a fucking box.
Big Bubba fucking caught me when I fell off the scaffold. I broke my fucking leg.
You got the double cheeseburger, right? With double onion. You got that, right?
I'm sorry, Jim Cornette.
You got it.
Stop talking about Midnight Express so much.
We love you. We love you. Okay. So, on the June 23rd episode of SmackDown, it was revealed that Hassan and Daivari were drafted to the SmackDown brand in the 2005 lottery. Hassan won his first SmackDown match by defeating Big Show with the help from Big Show's rival, Matt Morgan. The following week, on the June 30th episode of SmackDown, Hassan was involved in a confrontation with Undertaker.
Actually, all you can say, Craig, you just shake it off. You're like, that never happened. We got to move on.
That sounds like it was just written words put together.
Like that happened? Okay, yeah, that's what happened.
Come along.
One of the most controversial moments in WWE history, the episode of SmackDown taped on July 4th, but it aired 3 days later. The SmackDown general manager, Theodore Long, put Hassan in a number-1 contenders match against the Undertaker.
Oh, great. This is a great opportunity. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Had the Great American Bash on July 24th and placed Daivari in a match that night against the Undertaker.
Yeah.
No comment.
No. Daivari was defeated, but Hassan began to pray on the ramp, summoning 5 masked men dressed in black shirts, ski masks, and camel pants.
Well, when you pray, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Armed with clubs and a piano wire, they beat and choked the Undertaker out, and Hassan put him in the camel clutch. Of course he did.
Oh, fuck.
Afterward, the
That is
masked men
McMahon.
lifted Daivari above their heads and carried him away.
Inclusive wire break
okay.
class, break racism class.
Okay, so
Piano wire baklavas.
exactly. I was gonna say this is VKM, 100%. It's 100 his idea, and this is the kind of stuff where nobody can tell him no at this moment.
What's he doing? What the hell is this? Whoa, what the hell? What the hell is this? Who the hell is this? What the hell is it? Two guys in masks. Wait, what the hell is going on here? And a third guy with some sort of club. There's a fourth guy, Cole. And a fourth. Oh my God! The club off the head of the Undertaker. The size of these guys. 5 men in masks in the ring. Very big men. And Hassan is directing traffic.
I mean, Dave will read on, but the timing of that and what happened.
Like 3 days.
Later, obviously, who knows where it could have gone?
It wasn't
maybe
good taste to begin with, and then
exactly.
Like what happens right after?
I mean, if it was
and then really poor timing.
It's been 4 years.
Right.
People
and that's when really we're talking like 72 hours later, right, Craig? The London bombings took place. The footage aired unedited on UPN in the United States and on the Score in Canada with an advisory warning shown several times during the broadcast.
In London with piano wire today.
It might as well have been. You know, it was removed from other broadcasts like the Australian broadcast.
Theodore R. Long. It was in London
right.
with
player.
Oh.
Right. So this angle elicited national attention.
All those bombers are going to face the Undertaker. Like, yeah.
TV Guide, Variety, other major media outlets really focused on this in response. UPN decided that it would monitor the storyline closely. It did not want the Hassan character on its network, so they were like, "We don't want this guy on TV."
Yeah,
basically
you're gonna kill people, playa, tonight on Smack. Oh,
playa
tonight, playa, piano wire match. We're gonna take
it.
Fucking silly.
Well, we have an actual Undertaker that kills people with a tombstone, and
it's dead himself. TV, it's fine.
That's fine.
That's not insulting.
That's totally nothing wrong with that. Hassan later delivered a promo to the live crowd on the July 14th episode of SmackDown.
The big boss man at WrestleMania 15. That's right.
But when the UPN actually announced the segment was going to be edited, they decided to host the video of the segment on its official website instead. So they basically moved the promo where nobody was going to see it.
Yeah.
In that segment, Hassan reiterates that he's an Arab American and that the American people automatically
so he doubled down.
That he's
That's
a terrorist.
good. That's fine.
What's next, people? What's next? Because anytime anything goes wrong in this country, it's the Arabs. When a plane crashes, it's the Arabs. When a bomb goes off, it's the Arabs. The blackout 2 summers ago, it was the Arabs. Hurricane Dennis must be the Arabs.
Again, bro. I'm just. That's not him. This is not him.
You're right. You're totally
we know
right.
who's doing this.
We know who's doing this. Yes.
As an Italian from Syracuse, Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, I speak for myself.
Me no like the violence. He's trying to be Italian. He's trying to change gimmicks.
Right. Despite still being a character, he actually referred to the real-world media coverage of the storyline, singling out the New York Post on Kaplan by name, denouncing the description of the events on SmackDown, such as Kaplan's comment of this maskman being Arab and ski masked.
Of course.
On the July 14th episode of the same show.
I just was cold and I had...
Hassan's absence was explained by a statement delivered by his lawyer, Thomas Whitney,
his Italian
which
lawyer,
said Hassan had refused to appear on the Great American Bash due to the way he had been treated by the media and WWE fans. Was that a real lawyer or a work? Was that a work lawyer there?
Just a work lawyer, Dave.
There you go. Yeah. So we're still working. We're still working. It was revealed in late July that UPN had pressured WWE to keep him off television, off their network, effectively deleting him from SmackDown. Hassan lost the match to The Undertaker at the Great American Bash and was written off with The Undertaker doing a last ride through an open stage ramp onto a concrete floor, where it was reported that he sustained serious injuries and had to be rushed to a nearby medical facility. Apparently, a solution aimed to end the Hassan character. So, I have a bit of a question. Why not just move him back to Raw? Do you think it would have the same, or was it the same? It was the same network, right?
No, it was not the
Raw
same
was
network.
elsewhere.
But I mean, I think there was so much heat on him at that point. Like they were.
It wouldn't have mattered where you moved him, right? That's
Yeah.
what I was curious about.
Yeah.
You know, so interesting.
Yeah.
Several days later, WWE.com hosted a video of kayfabe announcement from Theodore Long, where he reiterates a stipulation that Hassan would no longer appear on SmackDown due to the increasing public pressure. WWE was forced to later drop the character altogether, sending Kampani and Daivari back to their developmental territories to alter their gimmicks. Like I said, Hassan was at the height of his notoriety, so there was some backlash here from a lot of fans. But he was released in WWE on his contract on September 21st and announced his retirement from professional wrestling. In the subsequent years, it was revealed that Hassan had been planned to receive a major push, eventually winning the World Heavyweight Championship from Batista on August 21st at SummerSlam. So, Jess, where do you think this eventually did happen? This story kind of got repeated.
What do you mean?
Can you think of a character that kind of picked up where he left off on this, but he was of a certain other descent? He wasn't Arab, he was Indian. He wins a world title.
Oh, Jinder.
Oh, Jinder.
Jinder. This is Jinder all day long.
And it was years
They
later.
just did it.
I was going to say it, Craig, to catch you up. I don't know if this is going to be a shock to you. It didn't work out.
What? Why?
Yeah, it didn't. It
What?
didn't work out at all. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
no,
I find it fascinating.
It's a good point, Dave. But it was years later. Like one of my big things about this whole thing is that it was too close to 9/11. It just was. And
Right.
if you didn't learn anything from the Sergeant Slaughter thing, where it was too close to home, and they even used a well-known wrestler in Sergeant Slaughter to do this, and it was just
Right.
too close to home, just don't do it. Like, and I know this was only 3 years. I think Craig said earlier, like after 9/11, and like when
3
they
or 4
started
years,
this, it's
yeah.
just not. It just wasn't time. And so the gender stuff was way distanced out. They didn't lean so heavily.
It was a way later, but it was a totally different descent too.
And he never took shots at people, to my knowledge. Maybe I could be wrong about gender, but he never took shots at people about like, you treat my people bad, like, you know. And that's what Muhammad Hassan did, and it was just too close.
He would take heel actions against people, but he was very much just into the Indian culture that he was raised in.
He didn't reference
as far as I remember. He didn't say it was holding him back. He didn't say any of those things.
So I think that's a lot of the problem. Is like Vince never learned from Slaughter, and he was like, "Well, I'm just going to capitalize." Like,
I hate to say it, with gender, you kind of hit on the right things, because all you have to do is love your culture that someone else doesn't like, and they'll consider you a heel because that person's uneducated and incompetent. So there's part of that, and then the rest of us that just get wrestling in the story.
That's a fine.
He does heel stuff.
That's a fine
leap
to make, though. I can understand that, and it's vague, right? But what Muhammad Hassan did was very specific. Since this horrible event, the worst event in American history, I feel that you.
They finally learned. They finally learned, and Jinder Mahal had a nice, title run and career there with all of that.
I mean, if they use this momentum, God, imagine, because I think Hassan was more talented than Jinder, and I like Jinder. But Jinder wasn't the best wrestler, and I think that like if Hassan would have went over, like I think he was a better wrestler overall. They
just used him wrong.
And I'm also really interested to see what Dark Side, because it is called Dark Side of the Ring. I'm interested to see what Dark Side brings up of the Dark Side. I've never heard anything negative about Hassan. So I don't know.
I think the dark side of it is going to be the backlash of what happened. Right. That's going to be that portion of it. But to your point, I think he makes it out. He not only unscathed. I mean, it definitely affects.
No, read on. But he's an educator. Like
it's not bad. So he actually 2011, 2012, he actually he wrote graphic novels, right? With Shad Gaspard, Crime Time, Assassin and Son. They won several awards for best original independent graphic novel.
I did not know that him and Gaspard wrote, who is from Crime Time, by the way, the tag team. They wrote a graphic novel together. I had no idea.
Very cool. That's cool. And in July 2016, Kampani was named as part of a class action lawsuit filed against WWE, which alleged that wrestlers incurred traumatic brain injuries during their tenure, and that the company concealed the risk of injury. That suit was litigated by Konstantin Kairos, who has been involved in a number of other lawsuits against WWE. They dismissed the lawsuit in September of 2018. Judge Vanessa Lynn Bryant dismissed that. I hate to say it, like some of it is in for a score. Sounds like he wasn't really hurt and he wasn't around that long, but I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to represent the right side. But
I'm sorry, what? Undertaker powerbombed him through a fucking table, like on this.
A local medical facility.
Yeah.
Facility. Yeah. April 28th, 2018, Hassan returned to professional wrestling for the first time in 13 years, appearing at the Dynasty event, Dynasty King of Thrones. 2019, he would state in an interview that he would never wrestle again due to other careers as a principal. He just wouldn't do it. After leaving WWE, Compani went back to college, became an educator. He became a world history teacher at Hannibal High School in Hannibal, New York, before becoming assistant principal at G. Ray Bodley High School in Fulton. This was in 2019. He was principal of Fulton Junior High School. As of 2024, he is the director of human resources for the Fulton City School District. So he's climbing the ladders, man. He's doing the work.
Honestly, good for him.
You know,
it wasn't his fault, right? He got an opportunity, he took it, and then Vince is like, "I'm just gonna fuck all this shit up for you." And it was just the wrong time and wrong place. He did his job. Like I've never heard anything bad about him as a person. And he's an educator, which is fucking awesome, by the way. So if you're a public educator, like, you deserve flowers and all that stuff. So he was a principal, now he's a director of HR. Like, good stuff. Like, I mean, for him, you know, it just didn't work out in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I think when we watch this episode, it's coming out this week on Dark Side. The Dark Side isn't going to be what happened after, because it's gonna be the event itself, which was very dark, incredibly dark, and incredibly tough. And like you said, talk about the awareness of him to get through that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
you know. I wish we could have seen more for him in the ring, though, because he definitely was a decent talent for as much of a greenhorn as he was. There could have been a lot of work there. It could have gone 20 years, you know. So
yeah, no, this is good. You know, like Ludwig, we had a little bit of fun because it was so obvious that he was a bad guy. But I don't believe that Hassan was not a bad guy. It didn't seem. He just kind of rode along with the show, and the people who booked him and created him, they were shitty. Like, in that sense,
right?
Like, they just didn't have their pulse on, America at the time. They just thought this would work, and it didn't, and it got out of their control. And then you book this overly ridiculous, over the top, with piano wire and attacking the Undertaker and people in ski masks coming out. Like, you make him a terrorist. I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
and that timing of just 3 days, bro.
Yeah,
of what happened in London after,
and that made it worse. Even if it didn't happen, that would still have been a very bad taste angle. But
right,
I mean, just take out the praying. That's just
that too. Yeah.
Well, and by the way, like, what's wrong with getting someone a rub? Why put a mask on somebody? If someone's going to come out and help them, why not make it a run with another wrestler that you're trying to produce and build a faction? Maybe it just seems silly. This is classic Vince trying to play it really close to the reality and of what's out there, and it just failed, man. It just failed.
And let's be fair, in the long run, whatever next pay-per-view was, Undertaker was just going to give him a tombstone opinion anyway, so it didn't really matter. Like,
100%. Like, Undertaker is not putting Hassan over in
Undertaker's
2006.
going to fucking beat him, so it doesn't matter.
It's not happening.
50-50, right? Like, he beat him out in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He squashed him. Yeah, 100%.
The more we learn about Cena, and admittedly, I think he snuffed a lot of people.
Maybe this one was deserved. Maybe, like, not because of the person that Hassan was, but the angle. Like, maybe this one was deserved. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe right.
There it is. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or watch our videos on YouTube at our Wrestling channel, or look at the flipping screen for several other video options. Or just Craig and myself. This is the O.W.P. signing off. Have a good one.